Module 7: Legal and Regulatory Frameworks. Compliance with environmental laws and regulations is vital for sustainable business practices, and entrepreneurs in the green sector need to have a deep understanding of environmental regulations and navigate the intricate legal terrain. Entrepreneurs need to grasp both national and international policies governing green entrepreneurship. National policies provide a framework for sustainable practices within a particular jurisdiction, while international agreements and conventions set overarching standards that member countries are expected to adhere to. In this module, you will understand regulatory diversity in Africa by exploring the diverse regulatory landscapes across African countries, identifying key factors influencing regulations for green businesses, and recognizing the implications for entrepreneurial success. Gain insights into national and international policies governing sustainable practices, including intellectual property rights, environmental governance, and compliance considerations, to effectively navigate legal challenges and foster sustainable business practices. Evaluate the impact of international policies such as the Paris Agreement, Sustainable Development Goals, and Kyoto Protocol on green entrepreneurship in Africa, identifying opportunities and challenges for aligning business strategies with global sustainability objectives. Legal and regulatory environment for green businesses in Africa. African countries have unique regulatory frameworks for green industries, reflecting the distinct socio-economic structures, cultural contexts, and ecosystems of the region. Compliance requirements can vary significantly from one jurisdiction to another, and entrepreneurs must recognize the multifaceted regulatory landscape to succeed. African governments and regulatory bodies are augmenting environmental laws and policies to address the global environmental crisis, covering critical areas such as waste management, renewable energy, sustainable resource utilization, and biodiversity conservation. Understanding national and international policies. To navigate the legal terrain as a green entrepreneur, it is essential to understand both national and international policies governing sustainable practices. National policies provide a framework for sustainable practices within a particular jurisdiction and can be found on government websites, environmental agencies, or through legal databases. International policies can be accessed from relevant international organizations' websites, such as the United Nations Environment Programme and regional bodies like the African Union. Understanding the penalties for policy violations is critical for compliance. Penalties may include fines, license revocation, or even legal action. Green intellectual property rights. Overview. Intellectual property rights are key in promoting green technologies, fostering sustainable practices, and protecting innovations that contribute to environmental conservation and resource efficiency. Let us now examine some of these rights. Patent. A patent is a form of intellectual property protection granted by a government to an inventor for a limited period, typically 20 years from the filing date. It provides the inventor with the exclusive right to make, use, and sell the patented invention, preventing others from unauthorized use. Patents are granted for novel, non-obvious, and useful inventions, which can include products, processes, machines, and certain types of plants. Copyright. Copyright is a form of intellectual property protection that grants the creator of an original work exclusive rights to its use and distribution. It applies to a wide range of creative and intellectual works, including literary, artistic, musical, and dramatic creations. Copyright provides the creator with control over how their work is used and incentivizes the creation of new and expressive content. Trademarks. A trademark is a distinctive sign or symbol used by businesses to identify and distinguish their goods or services from those of competitors. It can include words, logos, symbols, names, slogans, and even sounds. The primary purpose of a trademark is to establish brand identity, create brand recognition, and build consumer trust by ensuring that customers can easily identify and associate products or services with a specific source. Trade secrets. Trade secrets are confidential and proprietary business information, practices, formulas, designs, processes, customer lists, or any information that provides a business with a competitive advantage. Unlike patents, trademarks, or copyrights, trade secrets derive their value from being kept confidential. Nigeria's environmental governance. The role of NESRIA. Nigeria's National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, was established in 2007 to oversee and enforce environmental regulations across the country. NESRIA's role is to ensure that businesses and individuals adhere to stipulated environmental standards and regulations, monitoring and enforcing compliance to mitigate the adverse impacts of economic activities on the environment. NESRIA's regulations cover air and water quality standards, solid waste management, and require industries to undergo an Environmental Impact Assessment, EIA, to assess potential environmental impacts before undertaking major projects. While challenges persist, NESRIA continues to refine and strengthen environmental policies, incorporating innovative solutions, harnessing technology, and enhancing public awareness to create a more sustainable and resilient environment for future generations. Kenya's Environmental Legal Framework, a key driver for sustainable development. Kenya has a robust legal framework for environmental governance, which underlines the country's commitment to sustainable development. The National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, is responsible for enforcing environmental laws, monitoring environmental quality, and ensuring compliance with environmental standards. To promote a circular economy and minimize ecological impacts, entrepreneurs must follow stringent waste disposal guidelines and conduct environmental impact assessments, EIAs, to identify and address potential environmental risks. While challenges exist, Kenya's commitment to environmental sustainability presents opportunities for entrepreneurs to align their operations with the country's environmental regulations, enhance their corporate social responsibility profile, and contribute to sustainable development. Waste disposal guidelines, promoting a circular economy. Waste management is a critical area that entrepreneurs operating in Kenya's green sector must navigate. NEMA recognizes the environmental and health implications of improper waste disposal and has established stringent waste disposal guidelines. These guidelines outline proper waste handling practices, reduction strategies, and environmentally responsible disposal methods. National Environmental Management Council. The National Environmental Management Council is the primary institution responsible for coordinating and enforcing Tanzania's environmental policies and regulations. Established under the Environmental Management Act of 2004, the Council's responsibilities encompass a wide range of environmental issues, reflecting the country's commitment to sustainable development. Biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation is a cornerstone of Tanzania's environmental policies, as the country is renowned for its rich biodiversity, including iconic wildlife species and unique ecosystems. NEMC, in collaboration with other stakeholders, formulates and enforces policies aimed at preserving and sustaining this diversity. Conservation efforts extend to national parks, game reserves, and other protected areas, contributing to the global conservation agenda. Pollution control. Tanzania's policies under NEMC address pollution control measures, recognizing the potential environmental harm posed by pollution. Industries and businesses are required to adhere to standards that mitigate the release of pollutants into the air, water, and soil. By regulating and monitoring pollution, Tanzania aims to safeguard both the environment and public health, creating a sustainable foundation for economic activities. South Africa's comprehensive environmental legal framework. South Africa's legal framework governing environmental concerns is one of the most comprehensive in the world. The Department of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries is responsible for overseeing the country's natural resources and environmental management. With diverse ecosystems ranging from the iconic Table Mountain to the expansive Kruger National Park, South Africa recognizes the importance of robust environmental regulation to balance economic growth with conservation. Air quality standards. Air quality is a major focus in South Africa's environmental legal landscape. Given the industrial and urban activities prevalent in the country, the DEF has set stringent air quality standards to mitigate the impact of pollutants on both human health and the environment. Entrepreneurs operating in sectors that emit pollutants into the air, such as manufacturing or energy production, must adhere to these standards to ensure sustainable and responsible practices. Waste management. Every entrepreneur operating in South Africa must navigate waste management regulations. The DEF has implemented guidelines to regulate the generation, disposal, and treatment of waste, aiming to minimize the environmental impact of waste and promote the principles of a circular economy. Entrepreneurs are required to adopt responsible waste management practices, reducing their ecological footprint and contributing to the overall sustainability of their operations. Biodiversity conservation. South Africa places a strong emphasis on biodiversity conservation, given its rich biodiversity. The DEF is actively involved in policies and initiatives to protect and sustainably manage the country's diverse ecosystems and wildlife. Entrepreneurs operating in sectors that interact with or impact biodiversity, such as tourism or agriculture, must integrate conservation principles into their practices to align with South Africa's commitment to preserving its natural heritage. African Union policies. The African Union is committed to promoting continental integration, collaboration, and development across Africa. Agenda 2063 is the AU's long-term strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the continent. Malabo Declaration on Accelerated Agricultural Growth and Transformation. While primarily focused on agriculture, the Malabo Declaration recognizes the interconnection between agriculture and the environment. The African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The African Charter on Human and People's Rights includes provisions related to environmental rights. Entrepreneurs can benefit from understanding the legal frameworks protecting environmental rights and ensuring that their businesses comply with these rights. The Great Green Wall Initiative. The AU's Great Green Wall Initiative is a massive project aimed at combating desertification, land degradation, and climate change by creating a mosaic of green and productive landscapes across the Sahel region. AU Science, Technology, and Innovation Strategy for Africa. STISA 2024 emphasizes the role of science, technology, and innovation in addressing Africa's developmental challenges. Green entrepreneurs involved in sustainable technologies, renewable energy, and eco-friendly innovations can find alignment with this strategy. Accessing AU policies. The official website of the African Union serves as a valuable resource for accessing official documents, declarations, and policies. The AU regularly releases reports and publications that provide insights into its initiatives and policies related to sustainable development and environmental protection. International policies for green entrepreneurship. International policies play a crucial role in shaping the global landscape for green entrepreneurship. These policies often emerge from collaborative efforts among nations to address transboundary environmental challenges. In this article, we will explore some key international policies related to green entrepreneurship and their implications for businesses. Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015 under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, is a landmark international treaty. It aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, with efforts to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees. The Paris Agreement has profound implications for green businesses, as it shapes the global transition to a low-carbon and climate-resilient economy. Sustainable Development Goals. Although not solely environmental, the Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations provide a comprehensive framework for global development. Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, and Goal 13, Climate Action, are particularly relevant to green businesses. The SDGs offer a roadmap for countries and businesses to address environmental, social, and economic challenges concurrently. Kyoto Protocol. While the Kyoto Protocol's initial commitment period ended in 2012, it laid the groundwork for international cooperation on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The Clean Development Mechanism established under the protocol allows developed countries to invest in emission reduction projects in developing nations. This type of collaboration presents opportunities for green entrepreneurs to engage in emission reduction initiatives. Circular Economy Action Plan. While not a global policy, the Circular Economy Action Plan of the European Union is significant due to its influence on global supply chains. It promotes circularity in production and consumption patterns, emphasizing the importance of resource efficiency, waste reduction, and recycling. Green businesses seeking international markets or partnerships may align their practices with circular economy principles to meet evolving regulatory expectations. International Organization for Standardization Standards. ISO has developed various international standards relevant to green entrepreneurship. For example, ISO 14001 specifies the requirements for an environmental management system, providing a framework for organizations to minimize their environmental impact. Certification under such standards can enhance the credibility of green businesses and facilitate access to international markets. Accessing international policies. Entrepreneurs seeking to access these international policies can visit the official websites of relevant organizations. The United Nations Environment Programme website and the official website of the African Union provide valuable resources and documents related to environmental policies. Considerations for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs in the green sector should stay informed about evolving international policies. International policies can influence market trends, consumer preferences, and business regulations, making it essential for entrepreneurs to integrate a global perspective into their strategies. By keeping up with international policies, green entrepreneurs can seize opportunities to contribute to sustainable development and establish themselves as leaders in the transition to a low-carbon future. Compliance and legal considerations for green businesses. Starting a green business is a noble endeavor, but it can also be a complex and challenging process. To establish a successful and sustainable business, it's crucial to prioritize compliance with environmental regulations and sustainable business practices. Entrepreneurs must keep in mind several key considerations to maintain compliance, including the importance of adhering to environmental impact assessments, implementing eco-friendly technologies, reducing waste, and following global standards such as ISO 14001. By prioritizing these factors, you can set your business up for success while also contributing to a healthier and more sustainable planet. Green businesses should conduct thorough environmental impact assessments, EIAs, to identify, mitigate, or prevent adverse effects on ecosystems, biodiversity, and communities. They should prioritize the adoption of eco-friendly technologies throughout their operations, including energy-efficient systems, sustainable sourcing, and renewable energy sources. They should implement waste reduction strategies, be aware of international standards and agreements that influence environmental practices, and focus on reputation management by demonstrating a commitment to sustainability through legal compliance and environmentally friendly practices. Navigating legal and regulatory challenges. These interactive sessions are specifically designed to analyze real-world legal challenges. These hands-on sessions help entrepreneurs develop and refine their critical thinking and problem-solving skills while gaining a deeper understanding of the potential impact legal issues can have on their business ventures. With expert guidance and support, entrepreneurs are equipped with the necessary tools and strategies to successfully navigate through any legal challenge that may arise, allowing them to confidently pursue their aspirations of running a successful business. To truly deepen your understanding, we highly recommend exploring the case studies provided as part of this module. Additionally, don't miss the training assessment attached to this module. Excited to see you shine in the next module. Please ensure to complete the multi-choice questions before moving to the next module.